Hi, welcome to AwkwardHamster. Recently I got this Rockpals power inverter generator. This one is 3,000 watts. The one I got previously, it was, well, 1,800 watts, 2,000 watts max at peak. I essentially wanted one that can power my refrigerator and my heater in winter. The other one's more for traveling. Let me show some of the pages from the user manual. There's the warranty information there. So for this user manual, if you want to read any part of the product specs in more detail, just feel free to pause the video. Now, a lot of heaters out there, the electric ones at least, the peak is 800 watts, so it's freezing in Jersey right now. We just had nor'easter. It made the news because, well, the state was shut down. Alright, here's some of the other receptacles, control panel. The part I wanted to show is the maintenance piece, or the beginning instructions on how to get up and running. So here's the preparation part. I'll be using either 10W30 or 5W30. I don't see myself using synthetic for this one. I need the synthetics for my other engines. Show another page from this. And starting instructions too. If you ever used a generator in the past, starting it is all very similar concept. Turn it on, turn off economy mode, open the choke, then start it up. Stopping it is very simple and straightforward as well. Unplug your device, then stop it. Alright, here are the items that came with it. So got some tools here. Here's for the spark plugs, RV, a funnel to add the oil, a 12-volt charger or charging cable. I need a key for this one, and a Phillips screwdriver. This, I needed someone to help me carry that out of the box. It was quite heavy. And thankfully, once it's out of the box, I can just wheel it around. It's a little over 40 degrees Fahrenheit right now in Jersey. So that's why I'm wearing gloves. And this one is 10mm. So this part's over here. And handling metal tools in the winter, or winter-like weather, yeah, it's not comfortable. I'm just opening this up so I can show what's on the inside of it. I also want to take a look at it too because I need to add the motor oil. The Phillips screwdriver is for this part over here. I removed the bolts on both sides. This part doesn't come off completely because of the pull cord over here. The panel that was over here, this exposes the oil filler compartment. There's a diagram for it. So if I just need to add oil, I don't need to unscrew all this. Just use a Phillips screwdriver and unscrew that little panel just so I can use that the funnel that was provided, or my own, and add some more motor oil. Take this part off here. And here, that was the oil filter area. I also want to show the emissions control. It's printed on the inside as well as the outside. On the outside, it's printed on top over here. So this is quite clean. The air index of this engine is 3. So I can use this in even like California, for example. On this side, mainly I'll be accessing 3 things. The spark plug, air filter, and when I'm not using it or I'm transporting it, I can just drain the remaining fuel from it. And the spark plug, they provide a tool to remove this. For the air filter, just make sure the unit's not hot. Do this when it's nice and cool because I do need to stick my hand in this compartment. Wearing gloves to do this is not that easy because it's pretty cramped in there. So once I pull these tabs up, just move this here. Now I can access the air filter. here it is. Place this back. Make sure it's seated properly before I close it. Okay. That's one. The other one, clip it on, press it backward. That's two. For the second one, I had to press the second time just so I can get it past this piece here. Make sure it's on, it's not obstructing anything else. Since I don't have any oil or fuel in here, I'm going to show where the oil drain is. Right there. And you can loosen it and move it using the 10mm, the one that they provided, or your own. Rubber feet to help muffle the noise, reduce the vibration. It's pretty hard plastic for the wheels. Just push this back in. Now it's time to add the engine oil. I just want to show this part in the user manual again. If you want to read any part in more detail, just feel free to pause the video. For measuring by quarts is 0.41 capacity. So be careful not to overfill it, because it does get messy. For myself, I have plenty of 5W30s. I can also use 10W30s, synthetics if I want to. If I was living, let's say, like Chicago or someplace, in that case I might use synthetic, because it does get below freezing there. Alright, place this here. This will be the one I'll be using today. First thing to do is unscrew this. Turn it counterclockwise to unscrew. Here's the dipstick. It needs to be within this range over here. It's currently dry. I don't expect it to have oil inside since this is a new unit. I'll place this to the side for now. This is the funnel that came with. Make sure the funnel is clean. Now, add the oil. When adding oil like this, what I recommend is do a bit at a time. There's really no rush. I haven't reached 0.4 yet, but what I'm going to do is once this part goes down, I'm going to take this part out, take the little funnel out, and measure. I'm screwing the dipstick in, then I'm going to unscrew it. Take it out. Alright, so I reached pretty close to the max already. Let me measure it one more time. Great. I'm about this part right over here. The max is here. I want just within that range, so it's perfect. I'm not going to pour anymore, even though I can. What I'm going to do now is put the dipstick back in. As long as I'm within that same safe range, it's good. Next thing is close everything back up. For new units, you might open this up and see that the anchor came out. Don't worry about it. can always put it back in yourself. Just pop it into the side, that little cavity right there. And that's it. Now I'm going to add some fuel to this. Here's a fuel indicator. Low, max. I'm showing the instructions for starting the generator. I already added the oil, add the gasoline. If you want to read any part of this in more detail, just feel free to pause the video. And I'll be starting it using the ignition process with the key, not the manual start. It's a good thing they came with 2 keys. Alright, so we put it to the side here. Economy mode, set that to off. Turn this on. It's a cold start, so I'm pull the choke. It says now it's currently on, and let's start it. Earlier I mentioned that it's freezing in New Jersey. We just had a nor'easter, so it'll take about 5 minutes for it to warm up right now. The temperature right now, it's around 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Later, after it's warmed up, then I'll switch it to economy mode. This also has a number of safety features built into it. The one that's most important with all generators is to have it shut off automatically if it runs low on oil. Because if it doesn't shut off, it just burns out the engine, then it's just garbage. So this is very important. Oil protection, that protects my electronics. This is an inverter, so it's a nice cleaner power output. I can use it with more sensitive equipment like laptops, other sort of plasma TVs, for example, LCD TVs, the newer refrigerators. Turn the unit off. Make sure you plug out all the wires that you plugged into it. Set the economy mode to off, and just set the main ignition to off, and close the fuel line. If the engine is already warm, I don't have to use a choke to start back up. Turn the economy mode to off. Fuel on. Ignition on. Set to start briefly. And it starts right up. The choke is needed if it's a cold start. If it's not a cold start, you may not even need a choke. I used to think I don't need a generator, but after a couple power outages, yeah, these will come in quite handy, especially in keeping the family warm and keeping the food fresh. Alright, so thanks for watching this video. If you guys have any questions, comments, suggestions, feel free to contact me. Thanks for watching AwkwardHamster.